guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Petersburg, and guess what? I have a very special spec sports car I want to share with you, and I think it's going to blow your mind. Is this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a Chevy C8 Corvette Z06 with the 3LZ package and a very rare color, very hard color to find, painted in that very bright Amplify Orange tint coat. But before we get into this high revving mid-engine sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. So Z06, still very popular, even with the ZR1 reaching dealerships, even with the upcoming ZR1X, the Z06 is really checking off a lot of boxes for people because it not only brings that mid-engine sports car style that's very exotic, but also a high revving V8 engine. Actually redlines at over 8,000 RPM. Now, Z06s, we've brought them to you here on Rady's Rise, but this one I just feel is spec'd so right. So what I want to find out is this the best way to go? If you're looking for a mid-engine supercar, and would you spec yours like this particular one? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into this. Like I said, Amplify Orange. This is not Sebring Orange. This is Amplify Orange tint coat Z06 and find out. Right off the bat, I know a lot of people want to see the big, huge wings and everything, but every now and then, it's just so nice to show the clean lines of a low downforce Z06 with the trunk lid spoiler rather than the pedestal wing. Now up front, at the start of the front of the business, you have, of course, all that C8 great style. This particular one has the full carbon fiber front aero piece. Still gonna get your carbon flash metallic corner air vents. Look at the heat exchangers behind there. It's crazy just how much air needs to flow at the front end of this vehicle to keep things in check, to keep all those temps in check. When you go Z06, you have that extra wide body, wider than a Stingray. And with the Amplify Orange, I think it really just gives it that supercar attitude. It's very close to Papaya from McLaren. Let me know in the comment sections if you agree with me. Now, as we come across that front nose, this has the carbon flash metallic badging, so you got your cross flags, all carbon flash metallic. Down below, more carbon flash metallic, but more functionality. And then you'll see how that carbon fiber drips down into those inward air intakes for the brake cooling. Now, this particular one does have front end lift. I know some people feel it's not needed on a C8. I say get it because you just never know, and you don't want to scrape the front end of your C8, especially if you're pulling into a Cars and Coffee event and you hear that dreaded noise. That's not a good way to start your morning. I do like the way that this one has the body colored front splitter. Normally this would be carbon flash metallic, but because this still has the carbon flash metallic up front and the carbon fiber, I feel like by having this body color, it just all blends in nicely. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. Now, as we rise up, same great hood with those Stealth Fighter angular body lines. Coming around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tires. So what you're gonna find on this particular Z06 are these Y-spoke wheels, split spoke design. Love the gloss black. You'll notice peeking behind, you have those pizza style carbon ceramic rotors. Those rotors are 15.7 inches in diameter, and I love that nice satin gunmetal metallic on the calipers, 6-piston Brembo calipers. Obviously the wheels are forged. They're wrapped in those very good Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Highly recommend those tires. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? 20-inch wheel in diameter up front, 21-inch wheel in diameter out back. Tires up front are 275 on the width, 50 series sidewall, and just, you're gonna get some crazy braking capability from those carbon ceramic rotors. Remember, that type of braking technology first came about in the 1990s on Formula One cars. And now we see it on production vehicles. You do get the MagneRide suspension, obviously gonna be able to every nanosecond adjust for whatever the tarmac condition is underneath your vehicle. And out back, you do have an electronic limited slip diff. Now working our way towards the back, carbon flash metallic on your mirror caps with the turn signals, built in carbon flash metallic along the side splitter. And with this being a convertible, you got that folding hardtop. I'm very happy that whoever spec'd this went Amplify Orange all over that hardtop. When you do the carbon flash metallic two-tone, I don't know, I feel like especially on this particular one, it would have been too much carbon flash metallic. But let me know your thoughts about having that wonderful Amplify Orange everywhere. When it comes to the venting, you got those extra large side vents with the carbon flash metallic. Same thing on the badging there, Z06. And then when we look at the rear wheel and tire, like I said, 21-inch wheel in diameter. You got the massive rotors out back, and you see that center cap? That's Jake. Jake is the official mascot of the Corvette racing team. So that's actually an option to get Jake on your center cap. And it actually says Corvette Racing as well, if you didn't notice that. Now, with this tire size out back, I hope you like steamrollers. 345 on the width, which makes sense because this is rear-wheel drive, and with the way it performs, you're gonna want that power to get to the ground. And then as we spin around back, up top, you got all that Amplify Orange. Part of the deal with it being the convertible, you don't get to see the engine when the car is sitting still. Carbon flash metallic, the honeycomb venting. Same thing with the carbon flash on the badging out back. And then I love the way this has that nice low deck lid spoiler, all carbon fiber. LED lighting, of course, goes without saying. And then the rest is going to be that full carbon flash metallic with the venting, the lower diffuser, and we have a little bit of a modded exhaust. I think it's going to blow your mind just what this thing sounds like, especially with it being an active exhaust. We're not going to drive this quiet, just so you know. We're just not going to do it. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop this rear deck lid and see if we could find that high revving V8 underneath it. All right, guys, the bad news about this Z06 is that it does not have the optional engine cover. Now, it would have been nice from the get-go with the convertibles if GM would have figured out that people are going to want to see the engine and allow that clear window to be seen. Now you could get it directly from Chevrolet when you order your Corvette, or you could order it from your Chevrolet parts department. But what do we have? A sea of plastic, unfortunately. But try to imagine underneath there is a 5.5 liter naturally aspirated V8 that redlines at 8,600 RPM. It's bolted to an 8-speed Tremec dual clutch transmission, 670 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, gives you a 0 to 60 of 2.6 seconds, quarter mile of 10.5 seconds at 131 miles an hour, and top speed around 190 miles an hour. MPGs, 12 in the city, 19 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs right around 3,819 pounds. Now, the cool thing is that if you want a convertible, they only weigh about 70 pounds more than a coupe. That's not how it used to be in the past. But why don't we go ahead? This has a special sound to it, I think you'll agree. Why don't we fire it up and hear the roar of this Z06. right, guys, we're inside this Amplify Orange C8 Z06. It's a 2023 Z06 convertible. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, this has got my heart pitter-pattering. I love the sound of it. How much is it? Now remember, this is a 3LZ. It's got the carbon ceramic brake package, the forged wheels, and wait until you see all the carbon fiber that's not only in here, just like there was also on the outside. But if you're wondering what is the price, asking price is $145,000. Let's see if this is the right supercar for you. To the door panels. Love the 3LZ option interior. All soft touch, nice contrast stitching. You got the Bose premium sound system, the blackout package. So you'll notice the speaker grill cover is actually dark aluminum rather than shiny aluminum. Full carbon fiber all the way around your switchgear for the windows. And you'll notice the dark aluminum inside that area as well. More stitching. And then you got a door pocket large enough for 2 Nathan's hot dogs and 2 corn on the cobs from Nathan's. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more of that great stitching, the dark chrome finish, and then slide on in, you have your standard 8-inch infotainment system. It does have the optional performance data recorder, and when you go through your modes, let me get out of this. When you go through your modes, it actually not only appears on the screen on your dash, but also will change here on your infotainment system as well. Carbon fiber, a bucket of it. This is going to control your 8-speed dual clutch transmission. You got the waterfall of switchgear for your dual climate control. 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats. Your wireless charging is right there in between you and the passenger. And since this is a 2023 Corvette, all of them get the special 70th anniversary badge. Plus, it's also in the rear glass, which is nice. Now, you do get a small little center console, 2 USBs. One's a USB-C, one's a USB-A, and there's an aux jack. And this is where you could keep that little special bracelet that your first girlfriend bought you, that promise bracelet that she bought you when you were in high school, that you promised to stay together forever. Now you're on your 3rd wife and you're wondering, why do you still have the bracelet? Seats, the leather, these are the GT2 performance seats. So you got the carbon fiber, you got the Alcantara, extra bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, Alcantara all over the headliner, and you have a digital rearview mirror, plus the orange seat belts worth an extra 5 horsepower. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the special wheel in this supercar. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. 2 memory seat settings. Love the aluminum sill plate with the Z06 badge. And then the pedal box right out of a freaking race car. Nice aluminum dead pedal, brake, and throttle. Seat controls, easy to get to. The GT2 seats do have that extra bolstering, but I prefer that. I like the way they hold me, just like my mom used to give me a nice hug when I would come home from school when I was a kid. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Obviously, being a convertible, the top goes back. Seat feels good. The steering wheel, the Alcantara carbon fiber up top and down below with the Z06 badge. Love the leather on the horn button. Carbon fiber surfboard style paddles to go up and down the 8-speed. And then, of course, you do have electric tilting and telescoping wheel. You see this button? Hit the Z. That's for Zora. And that puts you into full performance mode. But when you look at that dash, like I was telling you, you can go through your different modes and it's going to change on the display and how the information is displayed, which is really nice. So you got all of that adjustability, everything customized, and you have a head-up display. Now, I'm not going to show you the front-mounted trunk. Why? Because I don't care. What I do care about is that if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this Z06. All right, guys, we are inside this Welcome to Florida Amplify Orange Z06 I have it in full track mode, full Z mode, the whole 9 yards, and we're gonna go on throttle from a dead stop with launch control. Real nice to have the launch control and nice to have that flat plane crankshaft high revving V8 right behind us. So if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Left foot on the brake, right foot on throttle. On throttle, here we go! Nice! Love the sound of that engine. Great shifts. Right now I have it in automatic mode, shift mode, but it really knows precisely where to be in the gearbox. On top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in manual shift mode, because now I'm gonna use those surfboard size paddles behind the wheel, because I like to be in control. Shifts are so quick, so seamless, and you can't argue with the sound. It is that exotic supercar sound. On throttle, here we go! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, talk about eargasms. You better make sure you have a towel in your car, because either you or your passenger is gonna make a mess. Seating position is great. I can see the peaks of the two fenders. Absolutely just spot on. And that's the thing is, even though for me, I still love front engine Corvettes, they got this C8 mid-engine Corvette right the first time. They just did. But let's go on throttle some more. On throttle, here we go! On those brakes. Oh yeah! The grip, the stick, the way it just propels you like a cruise missile. It's just, it is an intense feeling. And the fact that, yes, this car does have an asking price of $145,000, but when you think about the McLaren that this is compared to, or the Ferrari, it's almost a bargain. I'm gonna hear this engine note in my freaking dreams. The pops, the burbles, the bangs. On throttle! Oh, so good. Oh, so good. I mean, there's really not much left to be said about this vehicle besides driving it, because it speaks for itself. Make you change the way you live your life. Guarantee you that. this car is a life changer. And it definitely is a game changer for Chevrolet. Yes, the Z01's faster. Yes, the Z01X is faster. Who cares? I love the naturally aspirated screaming V8 in this thing. But we got to get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete because I'm going to get myself arrested. So let's wrap this up as quick as we can, and I'll see you in a split second. Guys, another mind-blowing experience here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. Definitely got to thank Miro and the rest of the crew getting us access to this very special Z06. Let me know what you think. Is this the way you would want your Z06 spec'd? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Reds family. Gotta get out to Stephen Flood. He loves oranges, he loves tangerines, and he definitely loves the color of this Z06. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next Red.